Long gone are the days of waiting to be seen in a doctor's office only to have that awkward conversation with your healthcare provider. Wisp gives you access to sexual and reproductive healthcare from the comfort of your home. Get treatment for BV, yeast infections, UTIs, and much more delivered directly to your home or ready for pickup at your local pharmacy in less than 3 hours. The best part? Wisp is discreet, convenient, and you don't need medical insurance to receive care or prescription medication. Visit us today at hellowisp.com.
Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race Recap Show for All-Star Season 10, Episode 2, titled Murder on the Dance Floor. My name is Joe Betance, and I am joined, as always, by one, pulchritudinous co-host from the podcast Rulaska Thoughts. Please say...
I ran away to the circus.
To Roberto Mata. Hello, Robert.
Hey, Joe. You finally did it. You picked a word that I don't fucking know.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Here's what happened.
You did it, girl.
I don't know it. I went to ChatGPT and I said, give me a hard word. And of course, it came back with sesquiquidalian or something like that. And I was like, no, we've been done that. I go, you got to go harder. And it came back with pulchritudinous. I go, this is perfect for this asshole. It's something like beautiful or something like that.
Is it passé?
Yeah. No,
like
it's like beautiful.
Has it
I'm not
fallen
even
out
joking.
of usage?
Oh, I don't know why the history.
No, I just mean the term.
Fucking the whole. Oh, I don't know why. Let me see. Do I even have it here? I just wrote it, so I don't know why I don't. I must have did it as like
random Shakespearean English that you're lobbing at me.
I don't know. Anyway, hi Robert. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I have some positive energy because I've been enjoying this All-Star season, actually.
Yeah, I've seen some chatter online where people thought I was going to hate it or, but I have a general, we'll see how it goes. We're on episode 2 episodes in.
We'll always see how it goes.
But here's my prediction. I was thinking about this. Like every time we think it's shitty, there's a whole new batch of girls.
Exactly. So I'm already thinking next week, I'm like, that's the end of our new badass queen, Liv Lux. Probably.
Oh, yeah. You know what's so funny? It's so funny that you say that, Robert. So whenever we have a 2-episode drop, I'm always like, I only watch the first episode before I do the first episode recap. Mm-hmm. And I forgot to say this, and I'm glad I did. I forgot to say, like, well, come on. We can already see that the top 3 are going to be Aja, Bosco, and Olivia Lux. But it's changed.
From the edit, that's what you were getting from episode 1?
No, this is like in the first 5 minutes.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is technically still possible for any of them to still get into the final 3, depending on whether or not they win this final challenge, and then probably some shenanigans with the post facto point assignment. So we have no idea, really.
You have no idea. But, if you're in the public feed and you want to hear the entire thought process that Robert and I are going to have, you're going to want to go over to patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. And I'm going to spend some time talking about Patreon. Let me tell you why. I forgot to mention this last time. There's a lot that you get for free. In fact, let me tell you right now, Robert and I are streaming live on the Patreon app. We're doing this episode, and it's open to all Patreon members, free and paid. They're all welcome to see us record this live. So if you want to see Robert, the newest member of our pit crew. Oh, by the way, this new pit crew guy.
Oh, I'm so with you.
Did you go to Club 96?
I have not had time, but when he rolled up in that gorgeous royal blue Speedo underwear thing, and then we just got to get all those close-ups of his pecs, it was over.
So, yeah. No, there's some very, very dirty pictures of him over on the page. As a plug for Patreon. If you join Patreon and you're a paid member, you get access to our Discord page where there are some very dirty pictures of the new pit crew. I should say pictures of the very dirty video.
When you say dirty, do you mean like
he's
piggy?
Jacking off?
Or okay, that's not dirty. That's just sexy.
I'm trying to sell it.
I guess it's dirty. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he comes or not. I didn't watch it. I didn't make it to the end. Anyway, no, I really haven't had time. Look, I'm not above it and say that I would enjoy it. So I would, and I will. I just haven't.
I'm usually the one who's like, that man's not very attractive. Yeah, no, he's so fucking hot.
Yeah, very, very hot. Yeah. Very, very hot.
I'm with you all.
Anyway, again, patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. There's a free membership with all kinds of free content. In fact, the full episode of the show just 2 weeks late. And starting this week, you can get the entire run in a collection of season 17, all in one spot. You don't have to go searching for it. Drag Race Recap season 17 will be available for you to listen to for free. The full episode, commercial free.
The real
and that's
Criterion
just you sign
collection.
up to be a free member. Free member. You don't have to pay a single fucking dime. You get the app. You find Afterthought Media. You join as a free member, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of free content, drag and not drag alike. Oh, by the way, big news I saw on the Discord. And this is only going to probably really matter to people who are big fans of our content. So we did a podcast called The Sydney Gaze. Next time, Robert, you drive up to the Bay Area, you got to listen to the Sydney Gaze podcast. Okay.
I've heard so much about it that I almost don't want to ruin the mystique at this point.
You know what's really sad about the dissolution of the friendship I had with one certain person? Was this person had a pet project, which was to take all the seasons of the Sydney Gaze and make a best of, right? If anybody else, any big fans want to do that, be my guest. I would love to do that. See what to do, and I'll make it happen. But yeah, there's several seasons. Anyway, one of the guys on the Sydney Gaze came out with his own podcast. You know, he's an OnlyFans creator now. And it's another OnlyFans guy to talk about the business of OnlyFans. But I guess in the most recent episode, there was this little shout out to Afterthought.
Oh, no.
Because the guy goes, they actually talked about the Sydney Gaze. They talked about the Sydney Gaze. And the guy goes, yeah, there was all this blowback, blah, 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 blah. He goes, there was even a podcast that dissected it by second of the podcast. And I was like, guilty, right? I was like, that's us. And I don't know why. Look, I've said this before. I don't fucking geek out or fangirl over anybody. I've done it one time at the Magic Castle over Nathan Fielder. Okay? Talked about this before a million times. Same thing here is that I don't care if you told me Race Chaser mentioned us, I'm like, whatever, right? The fact that that's Jay from the Sydney Gaze. Speaking of, by the way, I wrote to this Pandora box. Like, what the fuck is she doing with her life, right?
No idea.
And I said, you want to come on the air? I want to interview you. Never heard a fucking word. Maybe because I just said what I just said. What the fuck is she doing with her fucking life?
Pivoting really quickly back to what you were talking about. When I joined Afterthought, which is I think 3 years ago now, you know, I'm learning names, I'm learning, relationships and all that. I thought that the Sydney Gaze Jay was Jay Ellis.
It's not?
So maybe I still don't fucking know.
No, it's not. It's not. It's this handsome Squidward looking guy who first thing you have to do is you have to listen to this 4 episodes total of the Sydney Gaze. You got to listen to that.
That's it?
There's only 4 and they're half an hour long. And actually, you don't even listen. Though you only really need to listen to episode 1. I'm going to tell you right now, for anyone who's listening, episode 1 in total, listen to the whole thing. It's 30 minutes long. It's brilliant. It's one of the most brilliant camp things I've ever heard in my entire life. 10 minutes of the next episode, the first 10 minutes. You don't need to listen to the rest. Skip episode 3, and episode 4 is only 10 minutes long. The end. I'm talking less than an hour of commitment to this show. Okay?
Maybe I'll do it while playing Roots of Pacha later tonight.
Oh, 100%. Episode 1 is just camp. Episode 2 opens with an apology, then they go into a boring episode. Episode 3 is just boring. But
what's the apology for?
Yeah, so episode is like, we're so sorry, we're gonna do better, blah 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 blah, right?
Because it was just malicious gay faggotry on episode 1.
Girl, you haven't heard episode 1? Let me see what everyone's saying. You know what? We'll go into this in the break because this is too. We got to get into the show. So this week the girls rub up and down on the pit grid on the Maxi Challenge. It's what?
Oh, we have been talking a
girls
lot
up-
about this. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. The girls jump up and down the pit crew, and on the Maxi Challenge, it's a murder on the dance floor. The dolls perform in a mystery improv acting challenge. On the runway, the category is coming and going. On the main stage, Bosco and Irene the Alien were placed in the top 2, forcing them to face off in a lip sync battle for the point. In the end, Bosco took home the point and an advantage in the competition. Roberto Mata were the right 2 queens in the top, and did the right queen win the point?
I do think the Seattle sisters did the best in the improv challenge and should have been lip syncing for their win or legacy or point or whatever the new verbology is. So, and then on top of that, I've seen jokes about this online, but like obviously Irene can't win a lip sync to save her life, but she's lost every lip sync against a trans person, and it's because she doesn't want to beat a trans woman.
Oh, is that what you think it is?
Well, I don't think it. That's just the meme that's going around.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, of course, no, it's not like she's being a good, kind, charitable person. I'm sure she would love to win some money and some acclaim, but no, she just can't lip sync very well. Like, how much fucking hand choreography do we have to suffer through in Murder on the Dance Floor? Doesn't make any sense.
I'm being honest with you. It's really sad because I feel if Irene, I think she can't take things seriously. I think she has she's very self-aware. And so she makes stupid faces and she does all this shit. And I'm not saying she'd be a great lip syncer, but I think if she took the song seriously and lip synced seriously, it would improve the lip sync significantly.
Okay. I could see that. She has a lot of the elements of what could make a successful lip sync. It's not like me where like I just physically can't dance. She clearly can. She just chooses to do the wrong thing.
And then she makes those stupid faces and crosses her eyes and you know, and you're like, girl, you're good. You're taking the wrong
Manila
tone
again.
Here. Yeah, exactly. And then with Bosco, it reminded me when Shangela came out in All Stars 3, and you're like, okay, what's going to happen here, right? What's this reveal?
In the fat suit?
Is that what it was? I remember it was something where she was like, I felt like there was a lot of balloons or something underneath, and we never saw what it was.
Oh, in the finale.
Yeah, in the finale.
Yeah, she was under a lot of like, I think it was like gold fringe, kind of like a little bit like a piñata. And why did I say that? Like that.
Like a Mexican?
Yeah.
Robert's like, girl, because here's the deal. Robert has a boyfriend. And the boyfriend just must love it when he just calls him papi and all this stuff. So now Robert is leaning into this. He's going to be in a fucking bandolero and a poncho next week. Huh?
Race play?
Yeah, it's total race play. Like he makes Robert cut his grass and shit like that and come in all sweaty. He's like, oh, Roberto, do you need to get a drink of water in here?
Get us uvas?
Yeah. Do you want grapes? Is what Robert said. Grapes, all right.
No man is ever, I don't care if they're Latino themselves. No man is ever allowed to call me Poppy. That word does not come near me.
Time will tell.
What's the who's that gay Mexican? He was a Twitter personality. Then he wrote a book. I think it was called Hola Papi, and I bought it and I read it, and it was whatever. But I'm happy to support another gay Mexican. Yeah, forgot his name though. Sorry, man.
I don't know who you're talking about.
He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy.
Wait, I think I know. I think I might know who you're talking about. It's going to drive me crazy.
What the fuck is his name?
Oh, don't get me started on him. Okay.
I knew you were not going to like him.
JP Brammer. Okay.
Yes.
Where has he been
the last 3-4 years?
Yeah,
that Queen's just kind of disappeared.
Exactly. Let me tell you guys about how the world works and how white people work. All right.
I dig him,
especially when it comes with people of color. And JP Brammer is a perfect example. Like, in other words, there was a time when this Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out, and then it was all of a sudden this Chow Yun Fat was the only Asian guy in Hollywood. Now it's that guy who was on the Asian show. No, not him. He's another one. Yeah. Oh. No, who's the one? He's Russell Park. Is that his name? Randall Park.
I don't know who you're talking about.
If you saw him, he's like in every Marvel movie. He's the Asian guy, right?
Not Simu Liu or whatever his name is.
Not the Shang-Chi or whatever.
Not the annoying
one.
Know? So that's Shang-Chi.
No, not the one. Yeah, that was a weird, crazy Reddit history that they didn't vet.
He's so out of pocket.
Oh, he's so out. People
hella annoying.
Yeah, wasn't he like in a men's rights Reddit something or other? I don't know.
I think so, but now he tries to position himself as like super socially conscious, like in interviews and stuff.
Oh, does? Whatever. Oh, yeah. It's his thing. So they do this. Somebody gets the brass ring. It happens with women too. And JP Brammer wrote a funny tweet. I'll give him this. He wrote a funny tweet.
He's written several funny tweets. The man's funny.
No, the man is not funny. I am not gonna put up with it. Look, even you saying what happened to this guy.
True, but I also deleted Twitter after the election.
You know, and all he did was he wore like a fucking like chunti cowboy hat in his goddamn fucking Twitter profile. And don't even get me started. I don't like him. I don't like him.
You're right about that.
Yeah. And TBK, you know who's another one I don't like is the guy. He writes for the LA Times now, and for some reason we have several people who know each other. We have different connections.
The LA Times is over.
But he used to be a writer at the OC Weekly, and he decided to come up with this column called Ask a Mexican, right?
Okay.
And people just thought that was so fucking funny. He's the biggest fucking idiot. Don't even get me started. I can't. I guess
Robert. I guess I did.
I can't. Well, this has to be a whole other episode where I bitch about that guy and I bitch about JP Brammer, and
we should get JP Brammer on the show so we could girl out.
Leo Gonzalez is this other Mexican guy who, like, don't get me started on him. And it's not because they're Mexican guys.
So you just hate Mexicans.
No, because I like that Rosa. I like her. I like the fat guy who's always playing a teacher or something like that. I think he's super funny.
What the fuck is that?
Jesus Nalgas. You never seen Jesus Nalgas?
Probably not by name. No, I don't know.
Yeah, if you saw him, he's pretty internet popular. He's fucking funny, right? But this Leo Gonzalez rips him off like nobody's business, and I can't. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about our
entertainment tracking board is gonna be pissed that I didn't know his name.
I'm Cyndi Lauper. My psoriasis was all over, even on my scalp, which may mean 4 times the risk for psoriatic arthritis. But Cosentyx works on both.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at Cosentyx.com or 1-844-COSENTYX. Ask your doctor about Cosentyx.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing. It's precision-crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision-crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Hello, I'm Malik.
I'm Jamie.
And this is World Gone Wrong, where we discuss the unprecedented times we're living through.
Can your manager still schedule you for night shifts after that werewolf bit you?
My ex-boyfriend was replaced by an alien body snatcher, but I think I like him better now.
Who is this dude showing up in everyone's old pictures?
My friend says the sewer alligators are reading maps now.
When did the kudzu start making that humming sound?
We are just your normal millennial roommates processing our feelings about a chaotic world in front of some microphones.
World Gone Wrong, a new fiction podcast from Audacious Machine Creative, creators of Unwell, a Midwestern Gothic mystery. Learn more at audaciousmachinecreative.com.
Find World Gone Wrong in all the regular places you find podcasts.
I love you so much. I mean, you could up the energy a little bit.
You could up the energy.
I actually don't take notes.
That was good.
I'm just kidding. You sounded great.
So did you.
And we are back. You know what's so interesting is ever since we started doing these lives, we actually do take a break and we talk to the chat room and Robert goes to get water. And so we're gone for about the length of an actual break. It's really funny. But Robert, let's get back to the show. What was your big takeaway from this episode?
Congratulations, RuPaul. You are the winner of this week's episode.
Oh, seriously? Why?
Because she cracked me the fuck up as Detective Poussey.
Oh, you liked her. You liked her acting as Detective Poussey.
Did I like her acting? I don't know, academically speaking. You guys can go to Coleman Domingo if you want annoying ass acting school, retrospectives.
Why is Coleman Domingo catching strays?
Because I watched Untucked and I was like, girl, enough.
Oh, who's watching Untucked?
Exactly. Not me after this episode. But Michelle Visage also cracked me up in that fucking Bob. Hilarious. Carson Kressley cosplaying a straight man. Actually, it's not that I dislike the queens, but the judging panel being in the acting challenge and actually kind of delivering on a relatively adequate parody script, structure at least, I was surprised. We usually hate this stuff down, but I was having a good time. Both times I watched it.
All right, very good. Let me see. Do I have a big takeaway from this episode? I think my big takeaway is something you and I were talking about before we started recording, which is on Rulaska Thoughts, on the episode 0 Rulaska Thoughts that we did, I talked about proof of concept and how there's a lot of things they wanted to try. And I actually think so far, I think that concept is working out. I think this is a really good thing. Now, so from what I've read is they had trouble getting queens to do the show, mostly because the queens weren't understanding the concept or they didn't like it.
Is this from one Naysha Lopez?
I think it's from Naysha Lopez, right? Yeah. And they had trouble understanding the concept. But, somebody mentioned on Reddit, and this is a really good point too, that it's a way to go on All Stars and have a low barrier for entry because you don't have to prep 12 outfits. You have to prep enough for 3 episodes. And I go, oh, so they don't have to get in as much debt, to go on the show. So hopefully this continues to work out. I know there are people who are upset, but I'll be honest with you. Look, let's be honest. Phoenix isn't going anywhere, right? She's not going past us.
It's highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. Same thing with thank goodness for this fucking Deja Sky. But they got some love. And look, and I didn't even consider this. And this is what we're seeing, and we'll talk about it in this episode. I am gobsmacked that I would have never predicted that this Irene the Alien, nay Irene Dubois, would have had the redemption that she's having this season. I would have, if you would have told me that 2 weeks ago, I would have been shocked. What'd you say, Robert?
She's kind of steamrolling.
Yeah. Which I think that was sort of the word on the street before her season, her original season. But it was like we saw the stupid water thing and then we're like, no, come on. And then look, she's doing a great job, but
I'll say this, and it's not meant to diminish her in any way, but she has gotten awfully lucky with the roll of the die and the challenges that have been assigned to the girls in Group 1. They happen to both be very much in her wheelhouse.
I'll also say what's another lucky thing in her favor is that she's on with her best, her best Judy, which brings a lot of confidence. Like I'm sure, if I was cast by myself, I don't know how I would do, but I would do better if my good Judy Robert was with me. Because
I definitely would have
shit
told
about me behind my back to all the other girls. What?
It wouldn't have been behind your back. It would be directly to your face. Do you not know anything about me after all these years, girl?
That's true. That's true. So, so the point is that, yes, she got a good luck on this, but she's also earned it as well. All right. So at this point, why don't we say goodbye to the public feed? We will see you soon. You're going to hear a curated version of the episode, and we'll be back right after. No, we're going to harp noise. You're going to hear something. All right, after the lip sync, the girls discuss the meaning of MVQ, and the queens make their cases for why they should get a point. In the end, the safe queens gave each other the points. Later, Aja and Olivia form an alliance with Deja Sky. Any thoughts on this after the lip sync moment?
I thought it was a little long. I think that if we're going to start off every episode with a elongated back and forth about how we're divvying up the QV MVQ points, I don't know if that makes for the best viewing experience, especially at a bar in public when we want punchier moments to start happening as soon as possible. As a viewer at home, I was also like, dude, it's like 10 minutes in and we're still talking about a very muted conversation about points that maybe won't even matter in the end. So I don't know that it had a lot of narrative heft, nor a lot of intrigue.
I was thinking about this today. It really is a test of the girls. It is a test of the girls. And I think they all failed the test. Curious to see how the other girls do it. In that, are you going, because they obviously know, they didn't put a rule that you can't just give it to each other, which they could have easily done.
Yeah.
And I think it's a test like, are you going to make good TV or are you going to be nice? They chose this round, let's see how it is, to be nice. But
and they did say, maybe we're being too nice this time.
Olivia said that.
True.
Let's see what happens next episode. But they want someone to be the Naomi Smalls and be life isn't fair. You know?
And so do we.
Well, yeah, we want it too. You know? And so, like, can you make good TV? That's what you have to. And so, like, you know, they're in these fucking confessionals, guffawing it up and laughing and kikiing with the producers. But I'm like, they don't give a shit. Are you going to give us good TV? By the way, speaking of, this Deja Sky.
Here we are. Here we go.
Here we are. Thinking, Olivia and Aja have already announced they're sisters, right? And she thinks that she's such a dummy, this Deja Sky. This Olivia and Aja have played her for the fucking fool that she is, making her think that they're just using her that they'll get one of her points. They don't give a shit. She goes like, she goes to them, she goes, this is the final 3. I'm like, oh yeah, bitch? In what universe are the 3 of
Maybe
you
if
the
there's a
final
Little
3?
John impersonation challenge.
I still think she'd lose. I still think she'd lose.
I have to agree that it is a little awkward watching, knowing that Aja's telling the confessional straight up. I have my diamond member, which is with my Miyake Mugler sister, Olivia. And then underneath is the melanation station that has Deja Sky. So it's just, I don't know. It's uncomfortable. Unfortunately, it was a very harsh read that I gave in Real Alaska Thoughts, but it's holding true in this show so far, which is that Deja Sky just kind of makes me a little sad.
Doesn't make me sad. I don't like her.
Oh, it makes you mad. I don't know.
I know
why
she was crying later. I didn't care.
Though.
I didn't care.
I'm sure you were full of sadistic glee, actually.
She was like, I just think I'm not good enough. I'm like, you're right.
I knew you were going to say exactly that.
The imposter syndrome is real, mama. You are the imposter.
I don't know if I agree, but...
would you hire her for your frat drag night party?
No, I'd hire a Christian. But, No, I mean, I'd hire someone who I knew was going to be hyper entertaining.
This Olivia, she can go suck a dick. Let me tell you why. She keeps saying over and over again, guys, I am not season 13 Olivia. Here's the deal, season 13 Olivia. You were never season 13 Olivia. The girls have said that we're basically seeing now who you really were when the cameras weren't rolling. That's all you're doing is showing the fucking viper that you are underneath. She's like, she's
not even that interesting.
Olivia. No, not even that interesting.
She did the same thing that Kahana Montrese did in All Stars 8 and that Blair St. Clair did in All Stars 5, where they just kind of like puff their chests out and they're like, oh, I'm such a badass. Look at me. Don't fuck with me because I'm not playing nice anymore. And I'm like, oh, that you actually couldn't have confirmed anymore that you're nothing of a threat by,
well,
another more sad cringe. Ugh.
I don't want to, we're going to get to, I don't want to be like other co-hosts I've had before where they drop their load early on. So we'll save it for the fight. But I have a thought on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note, why don't we bring back my girls? Back on the main stage, Irene the Alien and Bosco were named the top 2 queens of the week, forcing to face off in a lip-sync battle for the point. The song Murder on the Dance Floor by Sophie Ellis-Baxter. In the end, Bosco was named the winner of the lip-sync and awarded an additional point. Robert Mata, any final thoughts on the episode?
I really still, even at discussing it and, cutting into the minutia of it, I still like it as much as I did when we started this little chat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm looking. The next challenge is a makeover with basketball players, which really is not that different from the season 1 makeover, which was, I think, about like slightly more butch, like women. So, not that I think basketball is inherently butch, but it is a sport, and it's too butch for me.
Here's how you know it's a good episode versus a not so good episode. We spent very little time on this episode, if any, criticizing the producers.
And that's so rare.
Yeah. We're criticizing the storyline. We're buying into the storyline and we're criticizing the choices of the characters in this storyline. And we also, I was going to say I also hate Deja Sky. So the one thing I want to bring up, and I know this, guys, I'm not stupid. I know what was going on, but it was funny the way it came out that it was like, oh, Phoenix, who designed your outfit? And she's like, my sister died from COVID. Like, thank you.
I wish it was a good outfit.
I wish her face wasn't puffy.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Be sure to join us next week and every week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 10. So for Roberto Mata and myself,
sashay away until next week.
Thank you for listening to Drag Race Recap. Have something to say? Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. You can also email us at dragracerecap@afterthought.media. For more Drag Race and LGBTQ+ content, support us over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. Special thanks to these expensive tier Patreon supporters. April Pacheco, Astute Girl, Brad Coley, Coco San Pedro, Derek Byers, Doofus Maximus, E. Smith, Efren Barbosa, Phil Skit Pony, Flying Suki, Humble Pie, J. Thomas Plank, Kathy Zender, Katie Whitmire, Lauren Eckert, Lucy Carrasco, Mary S., Mike Yeager, Nikki Baker, Nikki Pettit, Polly Anne-Marie, Poppy Woods, Ricardo Herrera, Runner Brandon, Sarah Yu, Tom Bobbs, Travi Cosmos, and Troy Anderson. Drag Race Recap is an Afterthought Media podcast.